Games Workshop have released some news on their My Warhammer page, you know, giving you some peeks or sneak peeks of various weapons. We're going to go over them now anyway. Now, before anybody reads too much into the weapons or thinking upgrade this and upgrade that, it's just makes it more shooty. These do actually change the way you play certain units. But it changes some people. I already play most of them this way anyway, so the way I play Admech is the way GW are pushing this, so it's compatible with my whole style of play. Start with the Galvanic rifle weapons, the Galvanic rifle in particular. It's now a heavy 2, not a rapid fire 1, it's a heavy 2. You guarantee 2 shots, and it's AP -1. Now that makes a difference for some people, because some people wanted to use rangers on their front line, and now if they move, they're at -1 to hit. I always said rangers are a support unit. Like if you have, say, 4 Vanguard, you'd have 2 rangers, not the other way around. And all of this supports what I'm saying. Vanguard are really good as they are as a frontline, cheap frontline unit. Rangers were really good for what they were doing as a support unit, and this just made them better. So you want a couple of these, you know, well, basically 2 for 1 or 3 for 1, right? 3 Vanguard, 1 Rangers, that kind of thing. Stick them at the back, shoot, right? They'll be very good now, very good. Now, arc rifles, another weapon I took off simply because it felt more Admechy to me. I've got pistols, heavy arc rifles, normal rifles. I mean, on everything. I think it's breaches or destroyers, one of them have got them as well. But anyway, it says this here, they now, it doesn't matter what vehicle they're shooting at, they wound on a 4+. So if it's a bike or a knight, they'll wound on a 4+. Now if you're thinking you only cause 1 wound, whoopee, think again. They're now a 30-inch range, not a 24. They're still rapid fire 1, they're still strength 6, but it's AP -1 on the old stats, and now it's AP -2. So far the range is higher, the AP's higher, and the damage is too. The damage is D3, but if you're firing at a vehicle it goes up to 3 damage. Now if you're firing at a vehicle, the strength just goes out the window if you hit wound on a 4+, doesn't it? So that strength might as well not be there. So right away we've got you know, it hits on a 3 because it's Admech and it's rapid fire. Can fire twice at short range. I think twice if they stand still in it or something like that. And 3 damage if they wound, and they wound on a 4+. So against infantry, it's going to be a 3+, or a 2+ or 3+ to wound, and they're going to cause D3 wounds. Against vehicles, it's going to be a 4+ to wound, and they're going to cause 3 damage. So that weapon there is now a good all-rounder. It's good at everything. The 4+ damage roll, that's, I mean, admittedly if you're firing at a really weak vehicle you might feel you've been cheated, but if you're firing against anything else at 30-inch range, that you could do without heavy weapons if you've got enough of them on your side, and I have. I have. So yeah, it's also another weapon that's potentially Primaris Marine Killer, causes enough damage to actually do the job, and the AP value to match. So yeah, so these things here could, I mean, I've got these on my Vanguard, by the way, or some of them on my Vanguard. So my guys are up front with these, doing the damage that they need to do. Now you've got the transonic blades and transonic razors. They used to be AP -0. They are now AP -3 and -2 respectively. That means they've suddenly gone from chainsaw category to something much more deadly. Almost, I mean, they are what they're supposed to be finally. So Rust Stalkers, they're back on the table with them stats. You're going to want some of them, maybe 2 5-man squads or maybe something like that, and send them up the board. But yeah, very deadly, right? Again, people tend to avoid them because of that reason. I've got infiltrators because I didn't like the AP0, but I'm going to go out and get some more now. So yeah. Cognus weapons. There's a few changes here. It requires a bit of a deeper thought. For starters, you got flamers. That was 8-inch D6 assault D6. Now it's 12-inch assault D6 plus 2. So your minimum damage, minimum number of shots you're going to get with that is going to be 3. So yeah, and it's at 12 inches again. So that brings it into line with the Space Marines family. Cognus Heavy Stubber isn't a heavy anymore. It's not heavy 3. It's now assault 4. You can advance and fire that weapon now if you want. And most of our vehicles have that. Some of these tanks and other things that carry stubbers can now just move around the battlefield, firing, well, hitting on a 4+, you know, wounding everything without needing to stop. You know, it's I mean, the heavy weapons I won't be able to fire, but still, I mean, that makes them quite deadly. And here's the best one, I think. Now, you remember the twin Cognus autocannon that was heavy 4, 7, -1, 2 damage? It's now assault 6, -1, 2 damage. So you get 2 more shots and you can move and advance with it as well. So yeah, there's one unit that carries that. I think it's the Iron Strada, if I remember rightly. So we see what else has affected the Iron Strada. Twin Cognus laser cannon. Used to be a 48-inch heavy 2. 9 -3 D6 damage. It is now 48 assault 2. 9 -3 AP. D3 plus 3 damage. Which is good news for me. Because I'm one of those players that used to take shots, get all the way through to the damage, then roll a 1 on the damage with laser cannon. Now, minimum I'm going to get is a 4. Minimum. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I quite like that. That's going to make that a lot more effective. Now, Cataphrone breaches. They have torsion cannons that can carry in place of their arc rifles, have a similar upgrade, doing it is just heavy D3, well, D3 plus 3 damage, and the range is doubled to 48. I was looking at that and I didn't get it, but I missed the torsion cannon bit. It says but I'm expecting, you know, the arc rifles will be all D3 plus 3 when you get to the heavy section anyway. If not, it'll just be 3, you know. But still, that is quite good. It's quite good so far. You know, this is all benefits me. In fact, anything that benefits the low end benefits more troops, remember, as well. So yeah, that's quite good. The destroyers, now they're supercharged plasma culvers. Usually when you roll a 1, they're dead, right? They've changed that. The 1 now means 1 mortal wound. It doesn't kill them, it just does a mortal wound. But that's how I think it should have been. There shouldn't have been an instant wipeout. But it was, unfortunately. Anyway. The changes to the Cognus autocannons and Cognus laser cannons alone mean you're now going to be able to move and fire with Iron Stradas, or advance and move with Iron Stradas, or move and advance, and still fire. They're supposed to be mobile. Changing that from heavy to assault means they are mobile. They're far more mobile than they used to be. Instead of moving and advancing and then not being able to fire, move and advance, still fire. It makes a difference. I've got 3 of those and I use them that way. This is going to influence how I play, because now I can use those weapons still. Also, like I said, the heavy stubbers are in everything, absolutely everything. If they're now assault 4 across the board, then anything with a stubber is going to be able to move and advance and fire. And because they're assault 4, that's a hell of a lot of firepower laid down, you know, in any direction. Kind of hoping they haven't nerfed Vanguard. Vanguard have assault 3. It's assault 3, AP 0, 1 damage, but with 10 of them that's 30 shots, and they always cause at least 1 or 2 wounds on everything at that, because you're always going to get a 6. So I'm kind of hoping they haven't nerfed them, because they are the mainstay of the Admech force and they really are needed. But the breaches and the arc rifle weapon changes, I mean, these are all good news. Basically, I mean, let's have a look here. The upgraded arc rifles more reliable against vehicles. Now I'm assuming this applies to all of them, right? So they're +4 damage on all of them, you know, against vehicles. I mean, I take the arc rifles with my Vanguard, so there's a plenty of them on the board. But I've also got quite a few plasmas with my Vanguard as well. I can swap them in and out. Plasmas were what I would take in the past, right? Because the arc rifles were a little bit like that. Now, it's probably going to be the arc rifles are my favourite weapon of choice, or favoured weapon of choice. So yeah. So it's good news anyway. All good news. But just be careful with your rangers. Remember, they're now more static. They should have been more static in the first place, stuck on a hill somewhere sniping at things. But now GW are pretty much forced the issue. And the Rust Stalkers, worth a consideration. No, worth it. So anyway, that's it. Let me know what you think about these changes. I quite like all of it, to be honest. I think it plays into my style of play, supports my style of play better. So yeah, I'm happy. See you soon.